that song on a Monday.
7:45 at KPEL. Welcome back to Acadiana's Morning News. Speaking of waiter, I was talking to someone this weekend who they have a waiter addiction.
Yes.
Because they don't you just do it. Okay,
Right.
You don't actually physically even have to type in a credit card number. It's all there. Well, so it's like the same phenomenon. I had colleagues that worked in New York, and when Uber started, okay, it's 10 times easier than having to face the rejection of waving your hand for a cab and then passing you up. It's so much easier to just get Uber. Well, then at the end of the month, like how much you've used Uber, you don't even realize it. Not to mention when there's like the cheaper alternative, the subway that goes everywhere you really, have any business going. But anyway, I think it's interesting.
Beautiful in its simplicity.
Louisiana business can always support that. Jaci Russo joining us in the studio.
I have been sitting in the studio for 7 minutes, and all we've done is talk about food the whole time. We've talked about where we're going to lunch this week. We've talked about food we ate last week. We've talked about having food delivered to our house. I mean,
or anywhere,
y'all.
Anywhere.
Well, yeah, food delivered anywhere.
I think we're a little obsessed.
I think so. I'm excited. We're going to have lunch this week.
I'm going to tell you guys, I had some friends who, we had an engagement party this weekend. My brother's wedding that will never happen. Okay, it's just the lead up. I said, like, this wedding better be the best one I ever went to, because the lead up, Bernie, it's been crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so they were passing through. Listen to what they did. They stopped at the Old Sam's parking lot, over there in Ambassador.
Yes.
They used waiter to get food delivered to their car on the drive-through because they love all these places here, but they were trying to get back to College Station, Texas. But he loves some of the places I brought him. Did waiter and met the guy at the parking lot.
Okay, that wins.
Is that
my craziest waiter story before that, which that's now the craziest, is some of our kids had friends over for dinner, and one of them had food waitered to our house.
No!
Yeah, they sat
hysterical.
at the dinner table with us, didn't eat, and then later, like literally 5 minutes later, knock, knock, knock.
No.
I was like, wow, okay. So your story wins, though.
So, but what happens to you if you're at someone's house, you just eat what they cook, and even if you don't like it, and you're very polite.
Right.
Well, now it's like, don't eat what they cook. You don't have to pretend. When they go to sleep, you have tsunami delivered.
That's
you know?
right. Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, but yes, when he called me and he said, I got a question, it was like, what's the place with the boudin balls? And so I named a few of my faves, along the thing. And then he was like, what's that restaurant we went to? And I can't remember which one it was. I mean, there's so many great places.
Right.
And he's like, and so then he sends me a picture, and the waiter guy is walking up to the...
Oh, my God.
Anyway.
That is
great.
awesome.
So
and boudin roll-ups is my new obsession.
It's mine, too. I can't move on from it.
It's ridiculous.
And I'm a purist. I never liked the pepper jack boudin stuff.
But in the roll-up...
But the roll-up is good.
Oh.
So I was thinking about you. You are the embodiment to me of a Ragin' Cajuns fan.
Why, thank you. I take that with great honor as a compliment.
I don't care what sport it is. You're there. I don't care, you're running a company that is in multiple cities, but you're still there, especially when it comes to baseball. What are we now? Is this going to be the 18th year?
Yeah.
18th year as a season ticket holder.
Wow.
Jaci Russo, they really need to put a seat for you.
I keep suggesting that.
A rose gold.
We play a lot of showcase baseball, right? And so I sit in a lot of college stadiums all across the South watching my son play baseball. And I have taken notes on how other stadiums reward the good fans. And so yesterday I sat in seats in a city not too far down the road that had the fan name on a plaque on the seat, and I'm thinking, my name would look real good on a seat at the new Tigue.
Yeah. So speaking of the new Tigue, we got some more information over the weekend as UL released a statement about the delay. It has a lot of people concerned because we were under the impression that, bulldozers were coming in after we got done with postseason play the last time. The initial fundraising goal and construction budget that was released was $10 million for the new Tigue Moore Field that's going to be out, where the baseball team plays. Well, the enhanced design, after getting information or getting input from student athletes, coaches, and fans, the enhanced design increased the cost to about $16 million. So where that added cost could have really put the brakes on this whole thing, they are moving forward now. So just a bit of a delay. But I still think people were so angry and so confused about it because they thought there was, we've been ready for this happening. And if you drive past on Cajun Hill Boulevard, it looks like much is the same from right now. So it's underway as far as we know what the university is saying.
Well, we'll start with, we do the branding work for the athletic department and for RCAF. Mm-hmm. So if you're asking me as a loyal fan, which is how we started, I am thrilled that the university realizes that we need improvements to a top 10 ranked program in the country in terms of fan participation, experience, and often playing. And so I love that. I am a Diamond Club member, which makes me very important in the eyes of the baseball program.
Can I shake your hand?
You'll have to pay. But yes. And so one of the benefits of Diamond Club membership is, first and foremost, the support of the program. But secondly, we get to go to lunches with Coach Robe throughout the season.
That's way cool.
It's one of the greatest things of all time. I got to tell you. And so what he said all season long was, this is a big project, and he was very clear with everybody at those lunches that there were a lot of moving parts, and I never got the idea really from him that he was concerned because he knew there was a lot going on, but he said from the beginning, we will not be in our stadium for the first home game. There's just no way. And he said it's going to do good. It's going to be good for us to be on the road for those first few series. It's going to help our RPI immensely, which for everybody who doesn't follow college baseball that closely, is your rating throughout the season is based on a lot of factors. Your win-loss record, the people you play's win-loss record, whether you play them on the road or at home. And so the more road games you have against really good teams, the higher your index is and the better it is for you overall.
Wins, especially.
Road wins are huge. And he said, toughen him up a little bit. He's all about having some grinders on his team and traveling to Oregon to play in February. He'll definitely age a man. And so I went into this whole construction project knowing what he's been saying to all the loyal fan base, which is we're grateful for this and we'll take it as it comes.
Yeah.
Now, I do know there's been a lot of chatter online.
It's what happens in 2016. If there's a concern or if someone feels they are being wronged in any way, a movement starts. And I use quotation marks when I say a movement.
Yeah.
But there is just a lot of misinformation out there. I feel like a statement probably should have come out sooner from the university. And you know what? Maybe they didn't have the information to give out. Or maybe they didn't have it official or have the number yet. I mean, look, I get it. We're also in the summertime, too. So we're also dealing with a lot less staff around. I mean, maybe that's the reason for it. I don't know.
Well,
people are already excited for next baseball season.
Sure. As in my professional opinion, anytime someone hires me for my PR expertise, which we do not do PR for UL, we just do the branding stuff for athletics and RCAF. My PR expertise is, first thing you always do is stand up and talk and tell people the truth. Tell them what's going on. I tell every client that. That's rule number one. PR basics. You guys have been in the media for a long time. You know that. And so anytime somebody doesn't say, this is the update, the reason you are encouraged to say this is the update is because it makes people chatter. Sports fans in general need something to do during the summer in between seasons, and if they don't have a team to cheer for, they're going to turn all that focus on something else.
And it's happened.
Yeah. And so, but here's my issue with the online movements in this day and age is the anonymity. So when you go online and you start talking smack and you do it under some pseudo clever handle, and you're not willing to stand up and say this, I personally say this, I discount just about everything you're saying. And when you go on fan message boards and you talk a bunch of smack about how you're mad about this and you're angry about that, I got to take that with a little grain of salt.
And also, I think you lose some of. Everyone's an expert, I mean,
at their own opinion.
Right now, about half my news feed isn't as a political analyst. Or they are a mass shooting expert. They've done research. I mean, people just feel like they know, and there's not, even when you're posting these message boards, like, if you heard something, you're saying that as fact. Well, this happened, and I just think it's a lot of uninformed, a lot of lack of misinformation.
Well, I tend to give people the benefit of the doubt. I give people the benefit of the doubt, and I tend to look at everything from the positive side, which is probably the number one thing that annoys my husband the most about me.
Yeah.
Is I can find the positive in a train wreck. Because I just feel like there's always something good that can come from it.
Totally agree.
So as Susie Sunshine, I will tell you that this is how I look at it, the facts. The facts are the university has said we have all the money. The facts are they started the project, there was a slowdown, and now the project's starting back up again. The facts are we're going to have one of the best stadiums in the country when it's done. So when I look at the facts, and then I look at all the talk online, I think, what are they mad about?
Yep.
that they weren't involved, that the heads of the university didn't call Penn Seeker or whatever his, pseudo cover name is and say, hey, Penn, we're thinking about doing this. Can we get your permission? I mean, it's like, come on, guys. We're getting what we asked for, what this program deserves, which is an amazing facility.
I think it's going to be great. And I think when it all comes down, people walk into it for the first time, all this will be just kind of a distant memory of it. But you're right. In the off season, I mean, look at it. We start talking about the next football season as soon as the Super Bowl happens.
Right.
There's no, I used to really get on to my dad about Mardi Gras because my dad wants to start booking hotel rooms the second our feet touch the ground off the float. And he wants to start talking about it. And I'm like, I'm maxed out. I need a month. Like, I just need some time. Then we can start looking forward to it again.
I got to tell you, around here, everybody started talking about the next football season last November when every team in the state of Louisiana lost every game in November, as I called it. And so, we need that to keep us engaged. Look, at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, we're going to have a world-class facility, and I think that's what everybody should focus on. I think that PR 101 was probably not honored? Yes. It would have been great to have had more information more often. Jay Walker put out an article, I think it was last week, maybe Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, that I thought hit the nail on the head.
Yep. It really just kind of listed, and we'll share it over on our page, too.
It was so well written.
It was just, he hit it to a lot of points you said. We need to know, tell us something.
Right.
You'd have these supporters, people like you, who are in it every time. Now, you definitely have the insight just because you work closely. You don't have all the answers.
Oh, they don't tell me anything.
Yeah,
Except I can tell you what the football posters are going to look like next year because we designed it.
But, for the casual fan, or, for the invested fan who's just watching from a distance, there's a lot to it. We're going to post that Jay Walker story up at kpel965.com and share it over on Facebook. Just search KPEL News.
Well, I would say anybody who's super concerned and wants to know more, the RCAF is having this series of town hall meetings to talk about priority points and all these other things. So go to that. Ask questions. Show your love and support. But you know what? Maybe show up with that positive outlook first. Yeah. And then if you don't get answers, maybe you can be frustrated. But if all you do is take it to the message boards and be angry, I don't know what you're really going to accomplish.
Yeah. You may not like the answer.
That's one point.
You may not like the answer that you get anyway.
Right.
Really.
Right.
All right. Well, every morning she joins us, Jaci Russo.
I wish it was every morning. I wish. Am I being promoted?
Every Monday.
5 days a week?
You're being promoted, yes. No increase in pay. Absolutely not.
That's
and
fine.
for 3 hours at a time.
I'm fine with that, too.
All right. It's 7:57. Bernie's got